Hello friends, I am CS Jaspreet. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video relates to the CSEET series, continuing with the business communications next topic. I have made earlier videos also. I'll put the links in the description box below if you've not seen them yet. And today's topic is suffix, combination words and punctuations. Let's get started with the topics. Starting with the first topic, suffix. It's a morpheme added to the end of a word to form a derivative. In other words, in addition to the end of a word to form a derivative of the root word is a suffix. It's very simple. If you talk about prefix is a word that is added in the front of the word to give it a different meaning, and suffix is a word that is added at the end of the word. So prefix is before the word, suffix is after the word. This is the description of both of the definitions. Prefix comes in the starting of the word to make it a different word, to give it a different meaning, and suffix comes at the end of the word to make it a derivative and to give it a different meaning again. Groups of suffixes. We have four groups: noun, verb, adjective, and adverb suffixes. These are kind of four types of suffixes, and I'll explain you one by one, and I'll tell you what all suffixes come under: noun suffixes, verb suffixes, adjective suffixes, and adverb suffixes. Starting with the first, noun suffixes, the suffixes under are act, ant, l, age, asian, cule, ist, itty, link, meant, nest, ship, tude. So by adding these words at the end of another word, like a root word, like a separate word, it gives a new meaning. Audacity, capacity, or arrogant, occident. I've put the words in front of them as well. So they totally give a new word. They make a new word. They give a new meaning. That is why they are being added to the root word, and then they make a new form. It is just that these words are added at the end of any word. These are the suffixes. These are the noun suffixes which are added to the nouns and give them a new meaning. Talking about the verb suffixes, they are fi, like beautify, purify, gratify, electrify, pacify, personify, or ice, capitalize, modernize, popularize, terrorize, expertise. So these are the verb suffixes which are added to the verbs. Just a word, or a word is added to a root word which changes its meaning, or which gives it a new meaning, right? Moving forward to the adjective suffixes, they are able, like audible, uncountable, readable, or il, tidal, accidental, cultured, heavy-handed, talented, full, sorrowful, resentful, fretful, forgetful, Arabic, less, careless, harmless, oid, some, and just the word alphabet Y. So by adding these alphabets or words at the end of a word, we get an adjective suffix. And what is an adjective? It's like giving a compliment or telling something special about a place, thing, or a person. So this is all making those meanings correct. Then comes adverb suffixes, which are lie, wise, like amiably, candidly, surprisingly, greatly. Wise means clockwise, note-wise, tax-wise, anti-clockwise. As I told you, adverb means it adds more meaning to a verb. Adjective is like adding some compliment, or adding some, telling something special about the place, the thing. But adverb is, again, it adds value to an adjective as well. So that is why it's called adverb, and these all words notify the same. Talking about the combination words, so combination words are the words, that already exist to form new words. Most of the combining forms are of Greek or Latin origin. They're mostly of Greek or Latin origin, and they are special words that are actually added. They are technical, and their meanings are less susceptible to change. They have a singular form and a clear and consistent meaning, which is probably because they are of fairly recent origins. So combination words, they help combine with other words that already exist, and they form a new word, a completely new word. There are some examples of it, like archbishop, archrival, autograph, autopilot, biology, biography, cryptonym, cryptogram, mal, practice, maltreat, malnutrition, macro, micro, mid, tele, all these have examples as well. So these are basically the combination words. They add up to the different word and then make a totally different word with a different meaning, and these are mostly of Greek or Latin origin. Moving forward to punctuations. What are punctuations? They are the marks we use in English language, like full stop, comma, inverted commas, hyphen, brackets. And they're used in writing to separate the sentences and their elements and to clarify the meanings. The use of punctuation is very important, and you should know which punctuation should be used where. Then only you can actually make proper sentences, and then only you can make the reader understand what you're writing in a correct way. That is why learning how to use punctuations is very important. Moving forward to the types of punctuations. The first is full stop. Full stop, as we all know, is used to end a sentence. You know, when a sentence ends, we put a full stop. Then comes comma. Comma is used normally for the dependent words, for the dependent sentences. When one word is linked to the other and we want to differentiate them, we put a comma. Or the sentences are dependent and we separate them by a comma. Hyphen is used at various places. It could be between prefixes, suffixes, so it could be used at different places. Semicolon. Semicolon is used when you have to separate two independent clauses or two or more independent clauses that are to be placed together, but you still want that they are not dependent, they are independent in themselves. So for that we use the semicolon. Then comes colon. Colon is used, it can be used to introduce some kind of explanation. You want to explain something, you use a colon. Or if you want to introduce examples, or if you want to introduce quotations or direct speech. Then comes apostrophe. Apostrophe, normally we call it apostrophe S. Mostly apostrophes are used with S if you want to, suppose we write do's and don'ts, right? If you want to make it in a plural way from singular, so at that point of time, but apostrophe comes, or at the time if you want to signify or tell that this is this person's, Rohan's or Ram's or anything, at that point of time we use a apostrophe. Then quotation marks, if you want to simple, if you want to put a quotation or something has said something, someone has said something, we want to put it in quotation marks, like something which is very special and needs to be shown in quotation marks. Or when we write something that is said by the third person or said by anybody else, and we are writing it, so and so said us this, that is in a quotation marks. Then comes crescent brackets. There are already 4 kinds of brackets, but for crescent brackets, they are the simple forms of brackets that we used most of the times. We use crescent brackets only. They can be used to enclose an abbreviation, or to enclose a translation can be enclosed. Yes, translation can be enclosed, or biographical references can be there. Then comes square brackets. Square brackets, it's basically, it has, the intent is to actually part of the sentence only, but we have to put it out, or if we want to explain something more in the sentence but it doesn't need to be in the part of the sentence, then at that point of time we put that thing in the squares. Then there are other brackets, brace brackets and angle brackets. So these all are basic punctuations, and I believe the use of these punctuations are basically known to all of us. We have read in our schools in English subject. So these are the punctuations and these are the topics that I have covered today. Thank you so much for watching my video. Hit the like button if you liked the video, and subscribe to my channel if you've not done it yet.